So last week, Rivals of Aether received an update. To those outside the workshop development community, this update seemed like nothing special. Some bug fixes, some rune changes, netcode improvements, basic stuff you'd see in a normal patch. But the patch also released with some workshop quality of life changes, and these changes might be some of the largest additions to workshop we've seen in a long time. A lot of these changes are tied to a specific thing, but there's also some smaller changes that still are pretty big. Probably the most well-known change is the ability to quickly search through your characters by pressing backspace while in the workshop character select screen. This is one of the most requested features and can be incredibly helpful for narrowing down a giant roster. Another really cool addition is that workshop characters now have access to your player name. This might not seem like a big deal, but this has some serious implications. For example, a lot of workshop devs like to have similar alts to the base cast characters, and while most of these were pretty easy to recreate, one alt was not. Of course, I'm talking about the infamous alts, which allow you to spray tag your name onto the stage. Before, these couldn't take your name, but now they can. In addition, this also makes custom player alts easier. Most of the time, if devs wanted to add in a secret color for a player, they'd have to implement some sort of hidden code. But now, they can just have an alt change simply based on a player's name. Outside of these, a lot of the other changes just made things that were already possible a bit easier. Changing the victory screen, letting you hit and destroy articles, a lot of stuff behind the scenes just to make development easier. But while all of that stuff is cool, none of that is big enough to make a video about. And believe me, this last change absolutely is. Every character can now both add buttons to the character select screen and bring information from the CSS into the match itself through a new global variable. This may sound small, but I assure you, this is huge. Characters like Goku had to use up alt slots to determine whether they were voiced or not. Now, they can have all of their alts available and instead choose voices with a new button. Some characters have also had hidden options, such as the ability to switch between Lonin and their Echo Fighter Mio. However, Mio is no longer locked behind a secret, and is instead selectable with a button yet again. But I know, all of this could have just been done with extra alt slots before, right? And that's certainly true, but what about stuff that couldn't? For example, two characters I like a lot are Mii Brawler and Bar Rhaegar, because they can choose their specials at the start of the match. The problem though is that this is super punishing for beginners. You only have about 3 seconds to pick your kit before your opponent is free to attack you and force you to pick specials you didn't want. So instead of doing it at round start, you can now pick specials before round start, giving you plenty of time to strategize. Another interesting thing that would have previously taken too much time is the idea of custom colors. Characters who don't need that variable for anything else could potentially use it to allow players to design colors on the CSS. RuberCuber has already designed a working prototype for Pit, so the concept is already there. This feature is still in its infancy, and I'm sure people will figure out all sorts of cool stuff. I can't wait to see the future when people start doing stuff like locking characters behind a puzzle on the character select screen or something. But what are your thoughts on these new features? Anything you hope to see done with them? Let me know in the comments. For now though, that's all I have this time, so thanks for watching.